M. Fox Hunter, how long will COVID-19 last under Biden? 6 months. So I've been telling people this for a long time, and there's a movie that I hope everyone will see, and my wife's in the other room, so hopefully I'll remind her to see it at the gym tomorrow. I don't think she finished it. Is Dark City, and I've got a surprise. So definitely, people, please see it because it's going. Not only is it going to be helpful for you to understand this moment in time, but it's going to be helpful for you to understand the cruelty of this moment in time. Dark City is a movie, and it's a science fiction movie. It takes place in some type of a future, but it may not be the future. We don't know. It takes place in this environment where people at 12 o'clock shut down, right? They shut down. That's pretty cool, that effect. They shut down, and then they wake up, and there's somebody else. As soon as that clock strikes, there's these gigantic cogs, shut it down. The cogs stop. Everybody shuts down. And then when people reawake, they're somebody else. And they could be in a completely different room. They could be in a completely different place with a completely different wife or spouse, or they could have gone to sleep at 12 o'clock. They could have been driving a car, and they wake up, forward, and their name is something else. They have no recollection of any past. And in fact, they have memories of a past that they never lived. And I don't want to spoil the movie for too much for people, but I call this Dark City because people don't remember what it was like in December anymore. And that's a very important concept because you don't remember what December of last year was like anymore. You also don't remember what freedom was like. Does that make sense to everybody? You don't remember what you think you do. You think you remember so many things that you don't. And I've tested people on this a lot. I don't even bother testing people on it anymore because it's just too overwhelming for people. And it's gotten to the point that it gets frustrating for me a little bit. So, because I don't want to come across like I'm interrogating people, but essentially, you don't remember the way your life was in December. You remember it was better that you could walk the streets. And you remember that maybe there were more stores on the street, right? But that's about it. Maybe you remember the experience of walking with your dog and that person wasn't wearing a mask, but that's almost probably at this point as much as you remember what it was like. Maybe you remember someone like the pink hat protest, but you remember that kind of as like a washed away Polaroid photograph. And that's what they want. That's what the elites want. That's not going to stop. It's going to be forever. It's going to be forever. And it's going to be a lot worse with these vaccines. It's going to be a lot worse. So that's not going away, man. COVID-19, it doesn't make a difference what they call it. They've already conditioned people to accept it, right? What else is there to talk about? They've already conditioned people to accept it. Not only have they conditioned people to accept it, I call this, I give this a lot of thought. So I've tried to describe this to people. Usually I don't talk about COVID in my log with people because people have difficulty in many different ways, kind of conceptually, with a conceptual framework of what's going on right now. One of the difficulties that people have is that they try and turn and abbreviate complexity into a postcard. So rather than look at a whole system of something, they want to just turn it into a meme of a couple of words and then file it away in their head. This has become a very, very bad thing to help. So it's difficult to resolve what we're going through, and it's difficult to fight a war if people are not don't have the acuity and the intellectual capacity to fight it. And so be careful of those vaccines, whatever. So what's happening is, I'm 54. So when people would offer me a job when I was 20, they'd say, you know what, give me a call tomorrow. Talk it over with your wife, talk it over with your family. Give me a call tomorrow. Let me know if you want the job. 15, 20 years later, it's, take a few walks around, take a few walks around the block, come back, let me know if you want the job. Then maybe a few years after that, and this wasn't me because now I was out of the market, but it was, give me an hour, think about it for an hour, let me know. These days, people are having to make very complex decisions, very consequential decisions under a great deal of stress and with a great deal of urgency. So but that is also true of information. That's not just about their career or employment or financials, but just everything, every piece of visual information, whatever it is that's entering into your mind. you're processing and you're filing it away quicker than you ever did before. You're not aware of it because you don't remember the way your mind used to process data. Maybe if you read something, you'll be able to see that this isn't the way I recall it. Um, it's crazy though. So this is going to be going on forever. This is forever. This is um, this is forever. So people have to band together to fight this thing. Pharmaceuticals spend in the U.S. committed in 2020 to spending $10 billion on ad buys. And a good chunk of that was on social media. They committed to another $4 billion on doctor-patient advocacy groups on Facebook and on social media. Also, they're getting their money's worth. We're being held hostage, and there's just we're living in Dark City.
It's a movie about sleepwalkers, and it's a movie about people who aren't paying attention. And the humans they're just individuals. There is no community because those bonds don't form. Every night they're broken again and rearranged by the strangers, and everybody's just sleepwalking, and they're not thinking about things, and they're not thinking about their lives. So